A very good evening to one and all in India, and good morning to the entire world. And of course, a beautiful day to all of you out there. My dear friends, it's a pleasure to connect with people from across the world, from different countries. It's really a pleasure to have them with us and share their views and share the space with us. They want you to be in that space where you should grow as an individual. There are many people out there who are unsung heroes who have done their very best to make this world a better place. And today we have with us our special celebrity and guest. He's Dr. Edward Fenech from Malta, Europe, a kind-hearted person, a person who's very genuine and down to earth. I've just got to know him a few days ago. He's been very kind and very understanding. He's a very down-to-earth person, a person with a large heart, a great humanitarian. So I'd like to invite on stage today with us on this platform, Edward Fenech. Thank you, sir, for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting the invitation from the International FABTALKS. Thank you, sir. Dear sir, with your permission, I'd like to go ahead and introduce you in an official way.
Please do.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Dear friends, it's our duty, it's our honor and a privilege as well to introduce our special celebrity today. He is Mr. Edward Fenech, who will be 75 years old this November. Sir, may we know when is your birthday? When you say this November, we hardly have a few more days.
27.
27. So we wish you a happy birthday well in advance.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dear friends, he's going to be 75 years young and he's giving his best to the society. And let's get to know how. He is the founder member of his Rotary Club. Rotary Club la Valette that was chartered in the year 2002. Again, I repeat myself to make it more clear for all of you. He is a founder member of his Rotary Club la Valette that was chartered in the year 2002. Sir Edward was born dyslexic and did not master to read or write by the time he left school. So dyslexia was a problem, but he overcame that and he identified that, yes, he had certain problem with writing and reading, and he mastered that as the years overtook. Despite leaving school with no qualification, Sir Edward was determined to move forward and to succeed in life. He didn't make that a barrier. I can't read or can't write. He didn't stop there. He wanted to go forward and do much more for the universe. And yes, friends, with his great determination, positive outlook, he successfully managed to win a German scholarship, a scholarship from the government of Germany. And with that, yes, he had wings to fly and to contribute much to the society. Despite the difficulties he faced in reading and writing in another language, and yet, after 3 years, he qualified in hotel management. What a way to start life, not to stop, to keep going on and on. Sir Edward went on to have a successful career in hotel management. Later, he would continue on his successful career, this time in retail management in Australia and Japan. And dear friends, on his return to his home country, that is Malta, Europe, he took up the position of Director of Operations in the largest hotel and entertainment group at that time in Malta, Eden Leisure Group. That's wonderful, sir. Sir Edward always wanted to help the less fortunate. And this quality very few people across the world have, wanting to do something for the less privileged, the less fortunate, and always looked out for opportunities as a Rotarian. He has been involved in community services and different projects connected with community service since 2004 till date. Sir Edward has excelled in helping the poor in India, giving his best, extending a hand of help, extending a hand of hope to all the people out here. He has been honored by his club with a Paul Harris Award on 8 occasions, not once, on 8 occasions for his services to the poor in India. And dear friends, in 2019, he was awarded a PhD. That is, recently, he was awarded a PhD honors from an Indian university in Bangalore as recognition for work he carried out in challenging the attitude towards learning difficulties. That's really wonderful, sir. Another feather in Sir's cap. In 2011, he set up seminars and lectured at several universities and colleges on the awareness of dyslexia, which many of the parents are unaware. They blame their children saying that they are slow learners or they are dullers, but this is not the fact, my dear friends. There is a term called as dyslexia, and sir has been creating a lot of awareness on this. I repeat myself once again to make it more clear for all the parents out there and all the teachers, the management, the faculty, to make sure that you understand the term dyslexia. In the year 2011, Edward Sir set up seminars and lectured at several universities and colleges on the awareness of dyslexia with autistic difficulties, and from 2013 was assisted by 2 university professors from his home country who supported his courses and traveled to India with him to carry out training and lectures yearly until it had stopped during the COVID time, that is 2019. Sir Edward, in the name of his club, set up a CBSE school in Manavalakuruchi and has also 2 homes for the poor and orphan girls. He's been doing his best to do as much as he can till date, and he's continuing the beautiful journey. Edward Sir set up a lifeline for people with medical conditions with the help and coordination of professional staff and colleagues that he has been associated with over the past years. In 2020-23, that is this year, 2023, he was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Tamil Nadu Open University for all the good that he's been doing for the Indian people and across the world for different countries. Edward Sir has also set up an audio-visual studio at Tamil Nadu to provide audiobooks for people with learning impairment due to loss of vision or because of other learning difficulties. He has been able to set up a reference library at the same university. And such a humble person to grace us today on the International Fab Talks. Sir, hats off to you for being such a great person. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, sir. Dear friends, to add to that, Sir Edward also supports the nuns at the 2 homes for any urgent requirement needed for the welfare of the education of the children who they take care of. Despite not being in good health and walking with the aid of a walking stick, he is continuing his service, standing tall as a giant, standing tall as a rock, as a pillar of support, no matter if he has a health issue, or maybe if he's not able to walk, yet he's trying his very best. Till the last breath, he would like to contribute something to the society because he knows the pain across the other side, because he's been that person who has this humanitarian feeling within him. And dear friends, I'd like to go ahead and share a little more. He will be visiting India in the early 2024. That is next year. I guess maybe hardly 60 days. We'll have Sir visiting us to supervise the services and projects he is involved in. Edward Sir has already been carrying out a lot of services in Tamil Nadu, India for almost 20 years and has gained and received a lot of financial support across the board and from many sections of the society in his home country as well to help him achieve his goals. And here he is today to share all of his experiences and how he is going to impact us in a positive way. And we are looking forward to Sir being with us in 2024 very soon in India. Welcome, Sir, to the session.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here today, and thank you for the introduction.
Thank you, sir, so much. Thank you so much for being with us. It is really an honor to have you. And I just can't imagine how much of work you've been putting in for India, for the people less privileged, for the unfortunate people who really need somebody. And you've been doing your very best. And I'm happy that you're doing it for India. And I'm sure if you really had the capacity, you would really spread your wings across the globe. And that much I could say about you. You're that one soul who understands the pain of the other. Dear sir, I would like you to define yourself. Who is the real Edward Fenech?
Well, the reality of life is that you go through many different sequences, chapters, and so on. And life begins, obviously, at the very beginning. And it is that beginning which is so important in life, because we live with the fortunes of our childhood. In our childhood, if we're lucky, we have two pillars that we grow up with. One pillar is home, and the other pillar is our schooling. In my particular case, my savior in life has been home. I was fortunate to come from a good home, and that good home brought me up in a manner that gave me an open mind, gave me never any hesitation in life. Today, we tend to be we tend to judge a lot. People are given titles. As an example, when I was young, dyslexia was not very well known. I did not have a title. Today, children at a very young age are given titles. They have dyslexia, they have this, they have that, and we look upon them as being somewhat different from what we may be. But the reality is that I grew up in a home where I was never made to feel different. And though I could not read or write, I received an education without knowing. And that was thanks to my father, who introduced me to the arts, to music, and to 101 different subjects, which automatically came in. I could never read a novel. I have never read a novel in my life. I do not have the stamina to read a book from beginning to end. So my father used to make my brother read out loud. So I learned poems, novels, and so on, because my brother, who was also studying, 2.5 years older than I was, had to go through the process, and I learned from that process. So one of the most instrumental, important things that a human can try and hope for is a good family environment. And that's not always available. And I see it's not always available because the circumstances are different from one individual to another. The other pillar is school. And though at school, I really failed miserably because I could not read or write, I was fortunate that I had teachers that could show me things hands-on. They would be actually throwing away the chalk, not using the blackboard, but using other means of education. So I was fortunate that although I never got one qualification through studying at school, I got knowledge. And that is what's so important. So that's the first step of my life. Life has been not absolutely difficult, but it's been a challenge. Not being able to read or write, you have to camouflage that. You cannot go out to the world and say, I cannot read or write. You cannot apply for a job and say, I cannot read or write. So every position I ever got, I had to work 3 times harder. It was important that I succeeded. And the reason I succeeded is because I had an inner will telling me, you have to succeed. And that comes because of my background. My father came from a very poor background. There were 13 children. And he also had to prove himself. Luckily, he was a very intelligent man. He was a teacher, headmaster. He then became an officer in the English Air Force. He was an expert in logistics and explosives and guided missiles. He retired again. He studied. He became a veterinary practitioner. He retired again, and he became a director of the BBC School of English here in Malta. So when I realized that my father had come from the ashes and reached such a height, I was determined as an individual never to go back, but to retain what I received and to go forward. So in simple terms, the first steps of life are what molded me for the future.
Thank you, sir, so much for sharing all of that. And I'm really glad that you had a wonderful father, a beautiful environment, home environment. Many of us out here across the world, we have a very sad family background where parents don't take care of their children. They are neglected, they are abused and abandoned as well. But I'm really glad that your parents were with you, your dad took great care. And I love the way you shared this. My brother used to read out aloud for me. I gained a lot of knowledge. That's really very nice.
That is important because it's a chain reaction at the end of the day. But it made me sensitive to the environment that I was in. I realized that, not that I was in any way stupid or in any way detrimental to myself, but I realized I was different. And when you take different roads in life, you're a person that's difficult to be understood. So that was an environment that I had all along. But I started, even at a young age, to feel for those others who for one reason or another, due either a disability, whatever it may be, could not succeed. And I was very sensitive to that. Even as a young man, if I saw somebody who was disabled or whatever it may be, I would automatically feel sorry for them. I would cry. And it is an understanding that we as humans live on a very delicate world, and that the difference between success and failure is very, very, very thin line. And when you realize that you have succeeded out of pure determination, there is an inner feeling that one day you need to help others reach the same levels. And this is what motivated me.
Wonderful, sir. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Dear sir, how would you want the world to remember you? And why should the world remember you? Why? I have the answer. You are doing a lot of good. But from your perspective and your opinion, why should the world remember you, and how they should remember you? In fact, how should they remember you? That's what I would like to know.
Okay, well, basically, the world doesn't need to remember me. What the world needs to do is to try and follow in footsteps, if possible, right? The importance is the continuity. The remembrance is insignificant. But if people can remember the motivations and the reasons, then that is an automatic reminder of what I have installed in them. The hardest and most difficult challenges that I have found when I was in India, as an example, was that the schooling system threw out people who were not up to the standard that they wished them to be. So you could be a student that your parents are paying for you, but because you're not making the grades, because you're not doing well, they remove those children from the schools. And this is what should never happen. The human needs equal opportunity, and that equal opportunity literally means that there is no one in the world that can judge another person. And so, if that comes into the mind of individuals, that you do not grade people at a young age. I was graded at a young age. At the age of 11, there was an exam, and that exam would say where I'm going in the future. If I passed, I would go to a grammar school. I would be able to be introduced to subjects that will lead me to university. But no, at the age of 11, the schooling system that I was exposed to decided I was not going to make it at the age of 11. And this is where we must understand in education that every individual needs the opportunity to prove themselves, even if they can't match what is required of them in that particular period. They must be given the time to be able to develop and to reach their goals. And this is what I would like to try and leave as a memory, that we can all be achievers.
Excellent, sir. I love the way you put that very well. In fact, you would love to leave a legacy behind, not to be judgmental, to give opportunities to all the children out there, to understand them. That's really very nice. I love the way you put it, be non-judgmental. At the age of 11, you were judged, by your teachers, and you
Yes.
didn't feel good. And there are many people out there doing the same, many of the teachers and parents. And yes, you'd love to create awareness today and make it very clear to respect the child, to accept the child, and to understand actually what the child needs, and just not pressurize the child to perform where the child can't perform in that zone, maybe in some other area, right? As you were introduced into arts and into the other zones, as your dad, I think he brought you into the creative zone, right?
Yes. And it is proven in history, as we look back, there are people in history like Einstein, who was also dyslexic. There are people which are very successful businessmen that left school at the age of 15 because they cannot follow the school system. Branson, one of England's biggest entrepreneurs, he left school at 15. There are many people like this. There are famous actors, Tom Cruise, who is dyslexic as well, and it shows you that there is the roads ahead for them if they are finding the opportunities. Sometimes those are not there. We have to find them ourselves. But we must look at everybody as an equal in the purity of the sense of the word.
Very true, sir. Very true. We really appreciate the way you're putting forth and creating awareness today about dyslexia. And I guess if we could speak about the neurodivergent community. Have you heard of this term, sir?
No, I haven't.
Yes. So it's a big umbrella where all of this comes under that beautiful umbrella called as the neurodivergent community, where they focus and they try to create awareness that yes, dyslexia, dyscalculia, all of that, and many other terms, autism spectrum disorder, all of that come under that big umbrella called as the neurodivergent community.
I see.
Yes, dear friends, we have to create awareness, and so would love to have all of you creating that awareness wherever you are, to give children due respect, love, and concern. Dear sir, have you been on a holiday apart from the work that you do and the social services that you render? Have you been taking a holiday for yourself, or you're still busy and you would love to, as you go for a holiday as well, you're busy again somewhere with some social service? Did you take some time off? And if yes, would you like to share something like that?
I would tell you that in my sincere opinion, the people who are fortunate to travel are fortunate indeed. I have been fortunate in all my life to do a lot of traveling. I have visited 52 countries. So I have been to quite a lot of different cultures, different ideas, and so on. The world is a beautiful world. There is a lot to grasp and to see and to feel and to understand. Its diversity is wonderful. It's true. The maker decided to give us all different languages, and I still have to question God why he did that. I don't know why he did it, but we all have different languages. But with that has come different artistic abilities of music, of art, of architecture, and so on. And even when you haven't been experienced to what humans have done in this earth, if you go to a place like Iceland, which today is under threat because there is a volcanic eruption and there's a lot of earthquakes, it's like seeing the world in formation. If you go to Iceland, there's hardly any trees. There's hardly anything but a barren country. It's the world in formation. You go and see the deserts of North Africa and the sand, and they have their own beauty. And then suddenly you're in Germany and you're looking at the beautiful forests and trees that they have. And then you have the wonderment of India, such a big continent, which from top to bottom is different. It's different in its cultures, in its religions, in its landscape, in its food, in its music, in every aspect. It's a wonderful world when we can get out and see it. And I have been fortunate that I actually have been out and I have seen this world.
You're a blessed soul, sir. Thank you so much. And when you said 52 countries, I said, wow, what a lucky person. That's really nice. And you've been explaining like about every country, the beauty of every country, and how you could learn a lot when you travel.
Yes.
And appreciate different cultures and respect them in their unique style. Dear sir, the next question coming up is, how did you, which is that feeling you felt like, yeah, I'm moving to all these countries and I'm spreading the message of peace and love and I'm creating awareness. Which was that country which you felt comfortable and said, yeah, this country makes me feel comfortable? Would you like to share that? Or all the countries you felt very good? Yes, all the countries I've got to learn something.
Okay, I think, and this is not to patronize India, but in the coming weeks, I will visit in Nagarcoil and I will stay with the nuns. And one of the most beautiful things is the morning. They have the setting of trees, they have the setting of birds, there is the beautiful light in the morning and that tranquility. And it is a moment of peace. And so you could get excited by going to a museum. You can get excited by going to a fun fair. You can get excited in 101 ways. But one of the most beautiful things is to endure a certain tranquility and serenity. And I've experienced that in other places. If you go to the Gold Coast of Australia, you'll find beautiful beaches which are beautifully white for miles and miles, and you see nobody, but you have the peace of tranquility. And I think the greatest buzz that I get is silence. So it sounds maybe perhaps strange, but the most beautiful thing of all sometimes is the silence of life.
Yes, sir. I get that, sir. Thank you for sharing all of that. You love silence. You love a serene place, calmness, peace. Yes, sir. Dear sir, is there any movie that focuses on dyslexia? You could even mention a Hollywood movie or any movie from any of the countries.
I don't know the title exactly, but one of the best movies on dyslexia is an Indian movie. It's something like it's called 1,000 Stars or something. I can't remember.
Tare Zameen Par. Yes.
It's a famous I know director, and that story is so correct and so nice. It is showing how a child is disinterested in what's going around him and lives in a world of their own. But in reality, that child being allowed to develop becomes an entity of success. And that is, to me, the most beautiful and touching film that I have seen regarding the subject of dyslexia. And it's an Indian movie, and it should be seen by all. It's a very successful movie, and it's a beautiful movie. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it, sir. I've seen it with my children. We've been to it. We watched it twice. Twice in the theater and even on our TV as well.
Yes.
Yes. It is called as Tare Zameen Par, Stars on the Earth.
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. Usually we have stars above this, on the sky. So here when they say Tare Zameen Par, the stars are present on the earth as well. So that implies to the teacher and the beautiful people around that child who made the child grow. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for sharing, sir. So may I know now, what is that inner quality within you that you love about yourself? You admire your own self and you love yourself because you have this special quality, the inner core quality of yours.
I think it's the ability to embrace so many different things. I really am fortunate. I speak to people at times and I ask them, do you have a hobby? Do you do this? And they have no real interest apart from their daily getting up in the morning, going to work, going and so on. I have a diverse mind. I love music. I have a wonderful collection of music. I love art. I love cooking. I love every aspect that I can put my hands on. There are so many things that I think are positive. So in reality, it is grasping what's around you. There is so much to grasp. We don't always do that. We tend to be monopolized into a world, and we, unfortunately, many a time, many people feel sorry for themselves. And yes, life is not easy. Life is not always a bed of roses. But if you sit down, take a breath, you can find the beauty and the good that's around you. And sometimes it's simple. This morning in the garden, I could see a robin. A robin, the first robin of the season, because robin scare are associated with winter. And this beautiful little bird with this beautiful red chest was hopping in my garden. And that in itself was a wonderful moment.
Thank you, sir, for sharing, and thank you for sharing the little robin with us with the red breast. You say that, you know, with the plumage or the, you know, the feathers, and it's the invitation of winter, and we have to get started with winter. That's really very nice. Thank you for sharing all of that. So when you said the little robin entered my garden, I could just visualize that. I could just imagine that little bird hopping into your garden, and you know, simple things make us happy. That's really very nice. Yes, dear. Thank you so much for sharing, sir. So, from your experience or all the experiences that you've had and having at present, would you like to share with us how do we differentiate smart work and hard work?
Well, there is an element of both, but smart work reduces the hard work. That is the reality of it all. I have been in management for most of my life. And the importance of management is to ensure that everybody is doing the right thing. So in order for me to be able to control, first and foremost, I need to have gone through it myself. Because going through it yourself puts you in a position where you can command. So I believe that the smartness gives you the ability of hard work in the sense of success. Because you can work hard and you can not succeed. You can spend hours, you can spend days, you can spend a lifetime of working hard and not going forward. So hard work, smart, there is a combination between both of them. I really don't think that you could be smart and not work hard, or work hard and not be smart. I think there is a tremendous amount of synergy between them both that one has to try and harness. Working hard on its own achieves an element of, but working hard and working smart at the same time gives you that break of success. And we all need that break of success, because we can all lead a normal life. But for us to rise above that, we need to be a little bit smart. And being smart, in my case in life, was being able to jump from one opportunity to another. It's not taking things for granted. It's wanting to succeed. And wanting to succeed makes you aware of being smart in jumping from one to another. And when you jump, you don't have to be 100% sure of that jump, but if you're 80% sure, take it, and then the other 20%, work hard, learn it, and continue to move forward.
Beautiful, sir. Thank you for sharing your thoughts and views on hard work and smart work in a very efficient manner. You have shared that. Thank you very much. That's really very nice. Dear sir, any dream projects for the future as you're coming to India in 2024, early 2024? What are the dream projects and what you intend to, share the space with, and how people should collaborate with you and carry on this beautiful mission of getting to know the world in a better way and taking care of the younger generation on understanding little children, their abilities and as well as their disabilities?
There is always an element of dream. I believe that every human must have a dream. Those dreams when I was young were, well, when I was young, I dreamt I would have a yacht, I would have a nice apartment, I would have a sports car, I would have a beautiful wife, I would have this and I would have that. As I grew up, you begin to modify your dream. I would settle for a flat and not a villa. I would settle for a saloon and not a sports car. I would settle for a little boat instead of a yacht. And so we adjust as we progress in life. And it's the same thing. You have dreams and you want to. There is a reality that bites in. There is absolutely no way that I can tell you I'm young, because 75 is 75. And therefore, my radar is reduced into what I can and cannot do. But the most important is to retaining and maintaining. So in the particular case of 2 girls' homes in the south, it is my mission to ensure that when I stop, others are still going to continue to help. And I've built up a team in order to make sure that we will always be able to help these 2 homes. So my current situation is very simple. Ensure that what you have started is maintained, and if there is an opportunity, go for it.
Brilliant, sir. Thank you for sharing that. That was very nice on your part to share all of that. Dear sir, there are many people at your age, at the age of 75, retired, tired. They've given up on their life. They're just sitting down and waiting for them to close their eyes, or waiting for death. But I see you as a person who's so focused on bringing a change in the world, to empower the world, to empower people around you, such that when you are no more, they could continue your beautiful legacy. So that's really a wonderful way to collaborate and coordinate with the world. And I feel there is no retirement. I wouldn't ask this question to you, when do you plan to retire? Because I'm sure you will just give me the answer that yes, till the last moment, I'm going to do what I'm doing because I love what I'm doing. Am I right, sir?
It is very true, but one must be, as I said, realistic. I look ahead. I have already bought myself paintbrushes, paints, canvases, and so on. I cannot paint. I don't know how to paint, but I have decided that as my health begins to wither, and at the moment I live in 24 hours a day pain. I have nerve problems, I have heart problems, I have many problems. I have difficulty in walking. But I have already said to myself, when I can't walk, I'm going to paint. I'm going to do that. So I do not see the battle ending until I lay my head and I do not get up. We must have a focus in life. It is true, there are many people in pain and they do not want to continue. I hope that I will have the strength of always being able to say, I want to continue. One thing that I don't have at the moment is a pet. I don't have, and I love dogs. I had a beautiful Labrador, and the moment I cannot travel anymore, I'm going to bring in a pet, and I'm going to have a nice little dog that's going to be my companion as well. So it is the positiveness of thinking ahead. I'm not going to be the man I am. I am not going to be able to do what I want to do, but I'm going to live in a little cocoon that is suited for me because I want to continue to move forward somehow.
Excellent, sir. In fact, everyone out there who is almost close to your age in their 70s, in their 60s, 70s, or 80s should have this mindset to be productive till the last and be prepared for everything. Like you said, I bought paintbrushes and I have paint, and I'd love to have a little pet in case. In all of that you've shared. In this way, you have to just pre-plan a little and be, stabilize your life and be positive always and make the most of life. That's really nice. Hats off to you for this beautiful answer. Much appreciated, sir. Yes, sir. Dear sir, would you like to mention a few of your friends today who have been with you on this beautiful journey? You've had a wonderful transformational journey. On this beautiful journey, how many of your friends have stood by you?
I think that fortunately, there is always a group of people who believe in you and maintain you. And from this side, there is, in my own Rotary Club, there are 3 members who continuously help me. I have 2 pillars of finance. One of them is a friend of mine, Matthew. He is the chief executive of an insurance company, and every year he does a collection for the homes, and that money goes directly towards the homes. I started maybe 15 years ago a calendar which people sponsor, and that in turn, now I've handed over to another lady and she's doing it for me, and that brings in revenue as well. And I have another, her name is Helga, another lady also ensures that everything is coordinated and done. So I have a small team here, which I appreciate. In India, there are many people, but in particular, at the early stages, there is a young gentleman who is with us today, Amal, and he helped me a lot at the beginning, coming with me, assisting me, and so on. Dr. Maria, on the other side, from the dyslexic point of view, who was with you yesterday, Dr. Maria joined my team in learning difficulties and has been extremely useful in her contacts and her connections. So there are people that shine up and they do retain and remain. Sometimes somebody comes up for a year and they vanish, and that's good as well. But yes, there are some people who have remained and we continue to work together.
Thank you, sir, for sharing all of that. That's really very nice. Thank you for being very open, very frank, very honest on that question put forth. That's really nice. Dear sir, what brings a smile to your face? When do you often smile?
It's quite easy, actually. Many things bring a smile to my face. Simple things to difficult things. I don't like stand-up comedy. That never brings a smile to me for some reason. I think it's not my cup of tea. But there are so many things. Sometimes it's just the action of a child, the action of a human. Look, there are many good reasons to smile. Many good reasons to smile. We have to keep our eyes and minds open. They are there all the time. Why not? We sometimes put our heads down. We don't see the positives, but there is so many positive vibes around. The world's not perfect. I'm not trying to say it's perfect. There are too many problems in the world. There are too many nasty newses and so on. They are the downside of life. But there are many, many reasons that gives us a smile in our face. And one doesn't have to look for them. They do come. There are many reasons to smile. I mean, I'm smiling now because I'm happy to be here. It's a good thing to be here. You know, it brings you certain stability in satisfaction. So, yes, if you smile, the world smiles with you. And I believe in that.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. I believe this also, if you smile, the world smiles with you. That's really nice. Let's keep that and continue the journey of spreading smiles across the world and not pain, my dear friends. Our celebrity today is with us, sharing all of his experiences and wisdom with you and with me today on the International Fab Talks. Keep spreading smiles and make happier homes and happier individuals on this beautiful planet. Dear sir, any weakness for sweets, ice creams, chocolates?
I am not sweet-toothed, no. But that does not reflect on my stomach, which is slightly larger than it should be. I love food. I love the whole aspect of food. I like going to a market. I like choosing the product. I like bringing it home. I like cooking it, and I like eating it. And so there's no sweet factor. I rarely do sweets, but I do love food. And we all have to be careful because you can love it too much and then you start suffering because you eat too much. I have been overweight for a bit longer than I hoped to. I'm reducing weight now. Food is a wonderful thing, but I'm not sweet-toothed. I don't go for sweets.
You're one lucky person, sir, because many of us suffer from the sweet tooth, including me. One sweet a day. And that gives me a lot of energy. When I just have one sweet in my mouth, I really feel good. And I admire you that you are not into that space where I am, where I depend on sweets, at least one per day. That's really nice. Thank you, sir, for sharing all of that. And I love the way you shared, like, I love going to the market, selecting the products, the different items, coming home, preparing them, and consuming my food. That's wonderful. Very nice. Dear sir, from where do you derive all of your strength to do all of this, what you're doing, with great power, with great resilience, and great hope? From where do you derive your strength?
It's embedded. And I have to admit, and this sometimes I find it difficult to say because I know that life for many people is not as good as it has been for me because I had wonderful parents. And wonderful parents made all the difference in life. My mother was the discipliner. She brought to me the culture of cleanliness, etc. My father brought in all the other beautiful things. And he was a good cook. I used to spend hours in the kitchen with him and so on. He used to do the shopping to give my mother a rest. So all these factors that I grew up with have remained with me to this very day. And they are all the plus factors. You know, I mean, I'm luckily I am a positive person, generally speaking. And that makes me lucky for myself because I meet too many people who are negatively geared. Being positively geared, I am lucky. I do have my downsides. I do get low sometimes, but generally I'm positively geared. So that's the plus factor.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, so much for sharing all of that. Is there anything that scares you, sir?
Well, excuse me a moment. I have something in my eye. I think that what has always scared me in life has been the future of humanity. The future of humanity has been subjective in my mind, and that is a constant worry. I cannot understand the human aspect of disagreement because of color, because of religion, because of ethnic values, and so on. It's not within the grasp of humans to realize who we really are, that we need to have a level playing field, and that no nation, no people are better than others. But history has shown us there's always the dominance and the need of somebody to come up and to try and make a wave that is in their favor, but not in favor of humanity. And so I can only reflect on something that may sound strange, but the composer John Lennon of the Beatles came out with a song called Imagine. And he perhaps had the right criteria, imagining a world with no politics, with no religion, with no races. That is where the perfection comes through. But we are not like that. From one district and another, even in my own country, being small, people have different habits, different ideas, different motivations. And we live in a worrying world. The world, to me, is at the most worrying aspect that it ever has been in my life. And so if anything worries me at the moment, is the world we live in.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing that. Thank you for sharing your views on that, sir. Dear sir, do you ever get angry?
Do I get angry? Oh, yes, definitely. I have a very patient disposition, but when I get angry, I hit the jackpot. I really get angry, and then I get calm very quickly, which is not very good, because I get angry, I upset everybody around me, I calm down as if nothing happened, and they're all crying or are upset. So yes, I do get angry. There are many things that can anger me.
Thank you for being very honest on that. I love the way you said, yeah, I'm a very patient person, but then if I get angry, then I hit the jackpot. That was really humorous when you shared that. That's wonderful. Yes, sir. Dear sir, may we know now your favorite color and why you love that color?
Color is blue. I love the color blue. I come from a particular town in my country, and the patron saints are Stella Maris, which is the Star of the Sea, and Sacré Cœur, which is the Sacred Heart. And blue is associated with those two parishes. As a city, the color was blue. So the sports teams that I support, football, has been blue. So blue is my favorite color.
Great, sir. As you spoke of football, did you ever take part in any of the sports and games?
Yes. And not only did I take part, I have been knocked out twice. In cricket, when the wicket keeper threw back the ball, I got in the way and it knocked me out. And in football, when I was, as a spectator, I was standing next to a wall. The ball came, hit my head. I hit my head to the wall and it knocked me out. So as far as sports is concerned, although I never was a great medal winner, although I used to run and I used to play rugby and football and cricket and tennis, but my greatest highlights is my failures. And that is each time I got knocked out because I was in the way. So yes, I love sports, but was I really good at them? I don't think so.
Thank you, sir, for sharing. That's really nice. So I'm happy that you're back. You had, you said I had 2 knockouts, and one was with the cricket match and one was with the football match. And we are happy that you're here with us because you have a lot of work to accomplish, a lot to share with the world. We are glad and happy that you're sharing this space today with the entire universe. Yes, dear sir. Dear sir, would you like to share with us a favorite quotation or a proverb which you think is really very important for all of us, and your favorite one as well?
Oh, well, my favorite one, I really cannot share it with you because it's relatively long. It's from Oscar Wilde, It's from the Ballad of Reading Gaol. And I really should have prepared it for you because it's a wonderful bit of paragraph that one can go through. And I don't have time now to look for it on my here to be able to quote it for you, but comes from the Ballad of Reading Gaol, where there is a man who is condemned to death and in his last moments has a reflection of life. So that perhaps is my favorite comment per se. But regretfully, I don't think that I can repeat the Ballad of Reading Gaol to you.
Don't worry, sir. Thank you for sharing. Whatever you shared, thank you so much. Thank you. Dear sir, is there any message that you would like to share with the younger generation?
Well, I think the younger generation today is facing a number of challenges. In India, you have still not developed in the way that perhaps Europe has, in the sense that there is still an element of closer family ties and communications, and due to the environment, things are a little bit different. In Europe, we have a tremendous problem that children are permanently on their tablets or their phones. Their ability to go out and to play doesn't exist anymore. When I was young, we used to go out into the street. We used to play games. We used to really enjoy ourselves. That has been restricted in Europe to a great deal. First and foremost, when I was young, you could go out into the street and it was safe. Today, the streets are full of traffic, so it's not safe anymore. There were places you could go to. So one of the most important things for a child today, which has to be a little bit controlled by the parent, is not to become a robot and spend your time on a tablet, on a phone, and such issues. To be with each other, communicate with each other, play with each other, do things with each other. Because we are becoming a world of individuals. We do not share things together anymore. We do not play with each other as we used to. We need to get that environment back in again, where there is a common tendency of wanting to be together, doing things together, and having fun together. We are becoming isolated in our ways. And that is an area where we have to look forward and make sure that it doesn't happen as it is happening. India is at the moment at the crossroads, and I can see that very clearly. But still, there are a lot of pockets where people do mingle, people do associate, and so on. Avoid isolation, avoid being robotic, because we are reaching that stage in life.
Very true, sir. People are becoming robotic and they're not connecting with other people. They're being isolated. So let's come out and enjoy the beauty of the world, enjoy the spaces that are meant for us. Yes, sir, that's really very nice sharing all of that. Much appreciated. So you've been accomplishing so many different milestones. The best among them, the proudest moment, the wow moment that you felt when you accomplished something. May I know what is that, sir?
Well, one thing that I think has come out for me was the unexpected being awarded an honorary PhD. If my parents were alive to see that event, it would have really given them a tremendous joy. It is something that comes to you unexpected. And that came to me unexpected. It was an award given to me for the hard work that I had been putting in and so on. It was recognized by individuals as such. And so, as a moment of satisfaction internally, that was a wonderful thank you that I appreciated. There are many highlights in life which have been great and good, but that particular one, at the age of almost 70, being awarded something which I would never qualify when I was young because of my dyslexia, brought to me a certain closure of saying, okay, you started like this, but you finished like that. And that gave me an element of satisfaction.
Wonderful, Dr. Edward. Thank you for sharing that. That's wonderful. I really appreciate that. In fact, everyone out there, don't give up at any time in your life. Keep working hard and keep sharing your love and spread the word of peace, joy, enlightenment, empowerment across the world. Definitely, God will bless you in n number of ways. So, Dr. Edward, we are really happy with your achievement of, receiving a PhD, obtaining a PhD at the age of 70, and that's really a wonderful blessing from the Almighty. Yes.
What I'd like to add is that since I retired at the age of 62, 63. After that period has been the most recognized period of my life. Although I had had a tremendous career, I had done many things. My Paul Harris's awards from Rotary, my recognition from universities in India and so on, and continued here as well, have all come in my retirement. And this is what is perhaps different than most people, is that I had a career, I was successful in that career, but when I retired, I changed my gear, and yet it has been the most satisfying period of my life. It's been a good period of my life that I have given me joy and strength. So in retirement, we should look at these aspects, because we can all retire, sit down and do nothing. It's continuity. And that is what has happened to me, thankfully.
Yes, sir. We are proud of you, dear sir. We are very proud of you. Sir, what is that one superpower you would want from the Almighty or the universe? If you were to get a boon from the Almighty or the universe, what would you select?
It's a very difficult question, because in my own philosophy of life, every evening, my parents had taught me, before you go to sleep, say your prayers. But I do not say my prayers anymore before I go to sleep. I have a debate. I have a debate with the good Lord, and I ask him why. So if I need an answer, is for the good Lord to tell me why. I don't understand why things happen. I don't understand. There is a hymn, it's called All Things Bright and Beautiful, All Creatures Great and Small. All things bright and beautiful, the good Lord made them all. I used to sing that at school. And automatically, anything that's bad, you're told it's the devil. And I want to debate this with the good Lord as to, if you can do good, why don't you do it all the time? And that's my debate, and that's my argument with the good Lord.
Yes, thank you for sharing. Dear sir, as you mentioned the song now, would you oblige to sing for us the song
Definitely.
you sang in school? Please.
No singing.
No.
No, definitely not. Pass.
Pass. So, okay. At least I would like you to repeat those words, those lines, the lyrics.
Okay. Those lines are, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things bright and beautiful, the good Lord made them all. Yes. That is the beginning of the hymn.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that once more. Thank you very much. Dear sir, would you like to speak a few lines on mental health awareness?
Yes, it's a very difficult subject in mental health awareness, because there is the clinical mental health issues, and there are the private mental health issues. In reality, I think we all have mental issues of sorts. Those mental issues of sorts at times only affect our own lives in our own ways, in the way that we look at things and think, and sometimes they affect others around us as well. It's a very delicate subject, because the human mind is delicate. And there is, without doubt, the need of trying to understand and it's not easy to understand. Mental health can be for many reasons, and there could be many, many things that trigger off whatever it may be. It is an issue that has no beginning and has no ending. The only thing that we can really do is perhaps be sympathetic and not to jump to conclusions, etc. Mental health needs an element of understanding, and it needs an element of goodwill. We have to be careful, because when we don't understand mental health and we try to interfere with it, we could be damaging it. And I'll give you one simple example which was reflected in my mind all my life. Throughout my life, there have been people who have committed suicide. And the first person had expressed themselves in a negative way. And you don't really take it to heart. You dismiss it. It's only when they commit that then you realize the situation, the desperateness of the mind, not understanding the mind. So as far as mental health is concerned, the most important thing of all is that we respect as much as we can and not judge.
Yes, very aptly said, sir. You very well put in all of that with lots of clarity, that yes, we have to be very careful while dealing with people and not trigger them, not leave them alone and isolated, to be with them, because mental health is that crucial part where, we have to focus. It's a very delicate subject, as you mentioned. It has to be dealt with lots of love, care, and compassion, and lots of patience. Very well said. So you have great insight into this, called as mental health awareness. And I really appreciate your thoughts on that given question, sir. Dear sir, would you like to relive somebody's life? And if yes, whose life it would be? If you were given a type of a device where you had to click one of the buttons, it's an imaginary question. A big device, it's called as a time device. You have to click one of the buttons and that would take you into the past. And you have to relive somebody's life. Whose life you would love to choose and relive?
As I am a great lover of music, I think today, reflecting back to my childhood, to what gave me joy, is something perhaps the younger generation would not know as much as I do, but the elder generation perhaps may understand. One of the great influences of life has, without being, Paul McCartney of the Beatles. I have known Paul McCartney since he was young, because I was a Beatle fan when I was young. I have seen him grow. I have heard his music. I have heard his words. I have seen him on 101 different programs. And he's a person I admire, because he has created joy for so many through his music, through the words and his lyrics. And if I could be even a shadow of that person, to be able to create such beauty, such beautiful moments in other people's lives, I would gladly follow his footsteps. So it's a simple thing. It's not a great politician or a great inventor or whatever it may be. It's a person who has been able to give us the joy of life. And Paul McCartney has been, with the Beatles, has been one of that. So that is the person who I wouldn't mind following in footsteps.
Wonderful, sir. What a way to explain it, and what a way to share it. That's really nice. Not a politician, not a great leader, not a film star, but a person who brought joy and happiness to others with his music and with his special talents. He was able to share that joy and love to everyone, bring happiness in their lives through music. That's really nice. Dear sir, do you forgive others easily? Yes or no?
I would say yes. I can be extremely harsh, but I do forgive. And it's important, because you cannot continue. Obviously, if somebody tries to cut my ear off, I'm going to be rather negative about that individual for a long time. But generally speaking, in the structure of words, words are words. And I realize that at the time of anger, people say what they should not say, and so on. So you must be able to forgive and to continue to move on. Bearing a grudge is lowering your speed of life. You cannot bear grudges. You must be able to look at it. You may not forget, but you should forgive and then dismiss it away, but not keep on rumbling over it. So yes, I think I can.
Yes, dear. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing all of that. Dear sir, we have a small segment called as the rapid fire round. May I go ahead with it, sir? I'll take another 5 minutes from you.
Please do.
Yes. Before we go into the rapid fire round, would you like to share something else? Anything more you would love to share about your work? Or it could be anything. You could take a few moments and share, sir, which I have not touched upon, which I might not have asked you. You'd like to still share about it, you're most welcome.
I think we've covered a fairly good spectrum of life as it is today, because it's no use going down the path of many years, but as today. And as today, I think what is important is that people need to learn to help themselves. I have been through 20 years in India, and perhaps the most charming thing that ever happened to me was when I visited a friend in Jaipur, and his mother had been told about what I had been doing and so on. And she was relatively a poor family. But before I left, she called her son over because she could not speak English, and she gave him a little envelope. And in that envelope, there was some money. It was not a large amount. It was about equivalent of perhaps 6,000 rupees. And I knew that that person gave me something that was a sacrifice, but was also a gift of love. I had been in India for many years. I had met many people who were rich and so on, and nobody contributed to the work I was doing. In fact, they are asking more than giving. And that is one person that I remember well. But the most important are two little children, two little girls. I had visited the home for girls in Muton, which is down at the south of India, just underneath Nagarkoil. And it was my last day. And before I left, the night before, two small little girls knocked on my door. And I opened the door, and they said to me in the little English they knew, "Thank you, Daddy. This is for you." And one gave me a sweet, one sweet, and the other one gave me a little medal with a saint on it. And I knew that they gave me all that they had. And that, to me, is a very important message. Two little girls do not get sweets on a daily basis and so on. The little they had, they gave to me. And they are blessed for being that way. And it is these little things in life that makes the difference of saying, I'm satisfied to be in life. The little things that happen that changes a whole aspect of your trust and your belief in people. It is surprisingly that there is the saying that the poor are meek. And it is true. I have seen with my own eyes, with my own daily dealings, that amongst the most beautiful people on earth are the poor. The poor are blessed in their own way. And that is what has given me the strength over the years to understand that and to realize it and to try and continue to go on. Because the poor ask nothing of you in reality, but they are ready to give you what they have. And for that, they are blessed.
Yes, sir. I unmuted myself. I thank you, sir. hats off to you for this wonderful message, which you shared towards the end. Very nicely, you put it very clearly. It just spreads across in a very beautiful way, that beautiful fragrance of love. Whatever they had, those two little children, whatever, that all that they had, they gave you. You know, you said a medal and a sweet. That's all they had, and that's what they shared with you. And even the other person, you know, that's mother. She put some amount in an envelope. That was a sacrifice. That's very nice. I could get the message across very clearly, sir. That's really nice. I really appreciate you for sharing these two special incidents with us on this platform. And that should be a message to all of you out there, to be very simple and humble and to share whatever you have. It's not always take, it is to give as well. There's a lot of joy in giving. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Dear sir, now we'll go on with the round called as the rapid fire round, where we'll get to know about your likes and dislikes. May I take a few moments, sir?
Please do.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. My dear friends, the main round of the interview has come to an end. We have a small segment called as the rapid fire round, which we will continue now and get to know about the likes and dislikes of Dr. Edward Fenech from Malta, Europe. A beautiful person with a beautiful mind and a great vision for all of us. Dear sir, a perfect day in one word.
No hassles.
Great. When you help others, do you expect anything in return? Yes or no?
No.
You love to stay in a city, a town, or a village?
Village.
Love to travel by land, water, or air?
Oh, give me the three of them.
How nice. Which is your favorite season, sir?
I love spring and, spring and autumn.
Great. Dear sir, is it cake, chocolates, or ice cream? What is the first pick?
Ice cream.
Which flavor, sir?
Ooh, pistachio.
Oh, great. That's really nice. Yes, it has a very special taste. As you said, you are a good cook. So I will not be asking you that. I'll be asking you your favorite recipe, the name of your favorite recipe.
I love lamb rogan josh. I do it, cook it. It's nice.
Great, sir. Dear sir, do you have any teacher or sir who comes to your mind when I say your favorite teacher or favorite sir? Were there anybody like that in your life?
Has to be my father.
Wonderful. Very well said. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I am an early bird and a night owl. I go to sleep relatively late and I get up early and have been for most of my life.
Great. That's really nice. You're very lucky. Dear sir, if I sleep late, I get up late. It's very difficult to get up in the morning. So I become,
getting up late to me is wasting your life.
Really, very true, sir. I'm awake till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the night, sometimes doing my work, pending work. And so I tend to get up like at 8 o'clock, 8:30.
Okay, now I'm going to give you a lecture. You need to manage your life better.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you. I will do that. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that enlightenment and empowering me to do the best as I could. Dear sir, is it salty, sweet, spicy, or sour food?
Oh, spicy.
Spicy. Dear sir, in life, is it money? Is it happiness, or both?
Happiness is the most important thing. If you have money as well, good for you.
Good for you. That's really nice. Wonderfully put in. Are you an introvert, an extrovert, or an ambivert?
In the words of my wife, I'm difficult.
Very humorous. Yes. But to me, you appear to be a person with lots of clarity. What you want to do, how you would want to go further, the next step. You know, you have chalked out that beautiful plan in your mind. You're good at mind mapping, so that you know where you want to spread your energy, how to pre-plan things. That's really very nice. Dear sir, when you're all alone in your room and there's no gadget, no internet connection, nothing, 4 walls and a big window with a happy sunshine entering your room, you're connected to your thoughts. Where do your thoughts take you? Do they take you into the past, memories, or into the future, or are they connected to the present?
I'm very very, very, very much a sentimental individual. And I think of the past frequently. And I am fortunate that I see the past as a positive factor. So the beauty of the past reflects in my mind more than anything else. I love the good that I have been through. And that is something that I do reflect on. And I feel fortunate that I have been through it.
You live in a lot of gratitude, sir. That's really nice. You're a person filled with lots of gratitude. We all should learn that. Dear sir, do you love socializing or me time?
I'm selective socializing.
Great.
It
Nice answer.
all depends who you're going to meet. Socializing is nice. It's good. You're interactive. It opens your mind if you're with the right people. So it's subjective, but socializing is important.
Perfect, sir. Are you a thinker, a doer, or both?
I'm a big thinker. I'm a big thinker.
Do you believe in experiential learning or theoretical learning?
Experiential, definitely. I mean, it is the process of life that you go through that you learn from it. And we learn and must learn all the time.
Yes. So
I'm low in power, so I hope I don't. I'm low in power. I've still got 10%, but I hope I'll be okay.
Yes, sir, you could go ahead.
No, the battery.
Okay, you would like to.
No, continue until I die.
It'll just take 2 or 3 minutes more, sir.
It's okay.
Yes, sir. Is it fresh fruits and salads or fried food?
Fresh fruit and salad does not give me a thrill.
Is it home cooked? Yes, yes, sir. Thank you for sharing. Is it home cooked food or food ordered from out?
Oh no, home cooking.
Beach or forest?
Oh, beach, because I'm surrounded by sea.
Yes, sir. The best day in the week?
Every day. There's no difference.
Perfect. Beautiful. Is it tea or coffee?
Tea is great. I love coffee, but tea is great.
Great. That's really nice, sir. So we've come to an end to the rapid fire round, but we have one small request. We would like you to add 3 positive words on this platform today. We know that please, sorry, and thank you are the 3 magical words. Apart from please, sorry, and thank you, we'd like you to add on 3 more positive magical words today on this platform.
Love, give, accept.
Wow. Love, give, and accept. This tells me all that you have shared throughout your journey is really very true. That's very nice, sir. We thank you very much for being on the International Fab Talks. We appreciate your time and your patience for being with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Looking forward for many more interactions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, so much. Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sir. Thank you, sir. Dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks. My dear friends, it was a wonderful time getting to know about our celebrity, Dr. Edward Fenech from Malta, Europe. A person who knows what he's doing. A person, after retirement, contributing his time and resources, energy, his thoughts and views to building a beautiful world for the children across the world. And we love him for who he is. And we would like all the other senior citizens to be just like Dr. Edward Fenech, to create a beautiful world for yourself and for others. Dear sir, thank you so much for being with us.
Good day. Bye-bye.